Middle
I used to
name.
call my dad Jack as a kid. Good morning, everybody. I'm Ed Parcaut here with Mike Kelly, Real Estate Jerky Daily. We were not here yesterday, or I was here yesterday.
You were here.
You weren't here yesterday.
I was in the
I think it lasted 3 minutes because there was just like today. There's hardly any news. Yes, I had to go dig for stuff. Is there something you want to talk about? So I guess you have something popped up. It is Wednesday, isn't it?
Yeah, look at these.
It seems like Tuesday.
Drum roll, please. Look at that. 661 closings last week. What were we? 635?
I don't know.
So not a lot of closings. Pendings are exactly the same.
Keep track of your job.
Pendings are exactly the same as Monday. But listings are up a little bit, 639. These are single family condos and townhomes in Stanislaus County. So there. That's it. Those are the numbers. 661. What is that going to be? Probably 240.
I don't know. I want you to get.
Can I go?
How many months are we?
2.75.
661. I think that's the same as Monday.
Yeah, it is.
661. That's like
we still are,
divided by 2.75. 240. Same as Monday.
Cool. So what we're learning today, folks, is the numbers are exactly the same as Monday.
Yeah. So they haven't moved. Nobody's updated anything
or closed yet.
That's exactly correct, Mundo.
Yay, team.
So I have had two people got in contract, and one got into contract, and there was then the seller sent them a letter to sign afterwards that says that this property is part of so the people did a flip. They bought it, and they're a nonprofit, and under the nonprofit rules, you have to sell that house going forward for 30 years as affordable housing, and you have to be 80% of the AMI. That's the average income for the area. But these people put 110. Well, it's 110% of the average, not the top. So what I'm getting at is these people, and they're supposed to be not a cloud on title, but they put that information on title so that states that going forward, it's a kind of not a lien, but a restriction. That's the word I'm looking for. And they didn't do that. So they didn't put in the MLS any of this information, because basically only primary residence people could buy it. You're talking kind of like the Make Dreams Real and all those things where it has to be a certain dollar amount and going for it. It's not the same program, but they should have put in the MLS that it was this. No, that's the golf tournament. Yeah, but the other one that Dreams for All or Dream for a Few.
Dreams for about a dozen people.
Yeah, exactly. But what I'm getting at is, so they came back to them and said, "Oh, we need you to sign this and whatever." And their broker's like, "No, we're not signing that, because you should have had that MLS. You should have had that as a counter offer. You sold it this way." Well, I researched it more, and there's this, when they bought it, it's on title that talks about the program that this property's in now.
Okay.
But it states that there's supposed to be that restriction on title. But the question is going to be, when we see the prelim, did they put that on there? Because if that restriction's on there, this deal is dead. If it's not on there,
you don't have to follow anything.
Well, they're gonna pay for it because they got it for $100 and some $1,000.
Oh,
and selling it for almost 3 times that. Or having trouble with LinkedIn. Well, tell them to stop having trouble.
Yeah, quit that.
Yeah. So just be careful. These people who are buying these properties and flipping, if they don't know what they're doing, there's a problem for everybody. And that's so they were waiting to find that information out, because my people are buying it as a second home. Well, that means they should not be doing that affordable housing restrictions up in an area that is known for
second homes.
Yeah, exactly. But it's under this whole nonprofit. You buy it and then you can flip it and you make money. But then for 30 years, it is restricted to affordable housing. Now I'm like going, you know what? Fannie and Freddie will have a problem with that.
Yeah, they will. Yeah. Wow.
Yeah. So that's the things that you run into that you didn't plan on.
I need a prelim, please.
Yeah, that's I requested all that stuff because I needed to know. What was the big thing today? I guess they're talking about peace in the Middle East. So we're about 25 basis points better today. We were negative yesterday. The 10-year sitting at 4.31. It opened at 4.34. The highest yesterday was 4.35.
And we're 277 up on the Dow.
Well, and Bitcoin's up 445, only at 70,000. Man, what happened there?
I don't know. I don't know. I can't tell you.
NASDAQ's up also. All right. So there was only, what's today? We had Mortgage Bankers Association released the mortgage application data for week ending 3/20, which is last week, showing that overall applications decreased by 10.5%. Shocking.
Wow,
When rates go up 0.5%, it's amazing how much those things slow down.
Stop.
Application to purchase were down 5% for the week and up 5% year over year. Refinances decreased by 15%, and from the previous week, and we're 52% higher than a year ago.
Wow.
Hardly anything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That it exciting words though.
Yeah.
You know what I read?
warned my people, right?
Yeah.
Over the weekend when because I qualified somebody who was going to go through Navy Federal. But my agent that, I know real well, she was like, I was trying to get them, but they were already approved. Well, with Navy Federal, if you're in contract and then that house falls out, you have to reapply.
What?
Yes, you have to reapply. They don't just go, give us the new contract.
Your approval follows the house.
Yes. Which I guess some places do, but that's not how us brokers work.
Yeah. That's crazy.
Yeah, because they were upset because they had to reapply, and that's like every time. So they came to me and they were like, "Wow, this is fast. You approved us in like 15 minutes." Yes, that is correct. That's not, if once you have all the information in,
and if this house doesn't work, you don't have to reapply.
No, we just keep moving on. But crazy. This house is going to work fine for them.
Yeah.
So, and he's a corpsman from the Navy, and now a sheriff. So,
good. Like, yeah, appropriate job for someone in the military.
Yeah, but corpsman you would think would be firefighter or a paramedic or something.
Maybe he got tired of doing that stuff.
Maybe because I went into after I got out, I actually tried to join the LA Police Department, but they were like, "Sorry, you're white." I'm not kidding. Back then, there was like,
"I've got a tan."
Yeah, I was like, "Well, I'm a disabled vet. Don't care."
Yeah.
Well, I'm Hispanic.
I'm white Hispanic.
No, they're the same.
They call it? Yeah,
it's ethnicity.
I know.
Yeah.
Ethnicity.
Thank you. How new home sales and mortgage rates. So let me move this over. If I slow down, I don't care. I got to read it. So sorry, deal with it. It was a article about how new home sales, are slowing down because of the rates are so high right now.
High.
Yeah, where'd it go? Sorry, we move things and it drops. Mortgage applications, we went through that. Housing market pressure, demand softening, inventory is not clearing as quickly as they thought, and builders are having to work harder on price and product mix. So new home sales is having major issues right now in certain places because of the market. What's going on? They can only buy that rate down so much.
Well, did you read the article that said they're thinking over the last 10 years that they're looking at, in California alone, $434 billion in fraud?
No, for what?
For all these things that add up together, it's approaching $434 billion that they're finding right now for the homelessness.
Oh, okay. So why don't you explain next time? I'm talking about the government waste and fraud.
No, I'm talking about the
nobody has an idea in your head. Nobody's in your head.
Yes, they are.
No, we're talking about real estate right now, and now you're talking about fraud,
which would be government, wouldn't it?
Yeah, well, that's just when you have a one-party state, there is no protection.
It's just crazy.
No protection.
And the sad thing is, I don't think we're going to see anybody paying for it, as far as criminally in prison.
No, and that's the same for the federal in back there as it is here in the state. They get away with it. And someone said, if you're going to do fraud, do a major fraud, because then you don't get prosecuted.
Yeah,
it's the little fraud that you get prosecuted on.
Get the little guys.
Yeah. So that's all I have for today. Why'd you freeze?
I didn't freeze.
Oh, was that just me freezing?
It was you.
Okay.
See, look, I'm moving.
You weren't for a second there.
It's because I wasn't moving.
All right, and hopefully this this whole 15-point process of the piece will work. The first 3 is just no nukes, no.
Yeah, well, they've agreed to that a couple times, haven't they?
Yeah, give us some billions and we'll agree to that.
Yeah. Thing is, whatever they agree to, they're not going to adhere to.
Well, that's the question.
They've never done that.
Right, but they've never been bombed before like they've been bombed.
Well, yeah.
There's been a little different here.
I'm going to bomb the shit out of them.
The language, sir.
Oh, my gosh. But it was our president that said that. I liked it.
Yeah.
Time we had somebody tough in the White House.
Yeah, well, that's you don't get walked all over by other
Yeah.
countries. It's all we always said. I'd rather have an asshole for a president than a nice person.
Yep. And a guy with a lot of money, and so he can't be bought.
That works too, but that crypto, he's not doing too bad on his crypto. But they said the reason he's doing so well on that, and same with the family, is because they were debanked, and so they got into it because of that. And that's so. And then they were just in the right place at the right time as everything was building up. That they made a lot of money.
Unlike insider trading with Pelosi and them.
That's different.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, it's totally different.
You saw she got a train named after her.
No.
Yeah. I'll find the article.
Trend watch. Agents are becoming advisors. Did you know that?
We've always been advisors.
I know, but they're pushing it more. You need to talk more that information.
Oh.
So instead of I'm a realtor or I'm a real estate agent, I'm your advisor.
I'm your real estate advisor.
Yes. That's kind of like for us for the longest time, we were like mortgage advisors. I was a strategic mortgage strategist. I was a mortgage strategist.
Wow.
Yeah. So anything that sounded different than loan officer. But it's really making sure that people know what you do instead of just because everybody's about rate, and the rate is the easiest thing to do, and that sometimes the lowest rate and the most cost and the worst thing you can get into. I had a client call me yesterday that got text from somebody saying they were with UWM and they were checking on this, and they had a program to get them at 3%. It was a 3-1 buy down for refinance.
Wow.
Yeah. So they would save $400 the first year, second year, like $200, and then third year, nothing.
Yeah.
And it was, but it was going to cost them like $25,000. I'm like, wow,
that makes no sense.
It doesn't at all, but that's what they expect. Somebody who needs to refinance because they're hurting and need to save that much. They're not paying attention to the fine print. And he's like, well, I have my guy. I'll have him look at this. And he's like, the guy was like deflated afterwards.
$4,800 the first year, $2,400 the second year.
Yeah.
So $7,200 total
in savings, but cost
you $25.
Yeah, it's an amazing program.
Wow.
Well, I had a client of mine, another client, send me a picture of something that was in his mail, same thing. And they're like, hey, look how low these rates are. I think it's time to refinance, blah, blah. I'm like, send me the other side of that thing. Yeah. And then I just copied and pasted it and sent it back to him and said, this is what this is. And he's like, oh, that's horrible. Yes. Read the back side of the things. It tells you how bad it is.
Don't just look at the percentage they're quoting.
Yeah. Or look at the APR. What do you mean it's a 3.3 with an APR of 7? Wow. What does that mean? That means it's not a good deal.
It ain't whatsoever.
Anyway, so the big thing that I ran into is that whole thing with that lien restriction potentially could be there. We need to know about the prelim. So
true. And title companies are usually pretty good about.
Well, this was pre-open.
Right,
this was
They didn't.
I'm sorry. I didn't say this was down here.
Yeah. Oh. So the pre-open, did they have the?
I don't know. I'll let you know. We asked for our fees and stuff and those things. That's all part of what we asked.
Yeah.
And we're still waiting.
Wow.
Well, it only opened yesterday.
Yesterday. Wow. Yeah, it is different up there. Things move at a different pace.
Well, if they pre-opened it, you should have a prelim sitting there.
I would think so.
You would think so.
And I would imagine that while it's pre-opened, here's your number. We're not going to do anything until you get a client.
Right. But I mean, so what happened is my client's agent said, oh, they had already pre-opened it. And I was going to open it with so-and-so, but they already had it pre-opened. Is that okay? And she's like, why is she asking me this? I go, because technically it's a buyer's choice. Do you get it? No. I said, they're going to use the same person, a different person in the same office. Does it really matter? No.
No.
Yeah.
No, it's a RESPA violation if the buyer's agent writes the title company in there, unless the seller is going to pay 100% of escrow and title, it's a RESPA violation.
Well, you mean to change it from buyer's choice?
From buyer's choice.
Yeah. But it was already pre-opened. Is that okay?
No.
I know, but most buyers have no idea what that means.
Yeah.
Choice.
They don't have a choice. It's realtor's choice.
Yeah. Well, that was why they got all the cars back in the day.
the cars.
Yes, back in 2006 and back. Oh my God.
Nobody
And
ever got me a car.
Southern California, they were getting the thing different in Southern California. You used an escrow company and a separate title company.
Right.
They were never, I mean, occasionally they were the same. Up here, they're the same on average. There's occasionally one or two escrow companies.
Right.
But yeah, down there. So they really pushed to get you to go with them as the title company. And so there was agents getting cars and stuff, as a spiff, I guess you would call it. And that all came to a stop because they said that was illegal.
Yeah, probably should have been.
Well, because the agent isn't the one paying for it.
Coolest thing ever.
No, but
you're not paying for it, and you get a car. Oh my gosh!
That's the whole thing. It's the buyers paying for it or the sellers paying for it.
Yeah,
they're the ones who should get the benefit, not the person, telling where the steering people to go.
Well, I declare.
You want to? I declare.
Yeah.
All right. Let's go.
All right. Have a great Wednesday, kids.
I'm sorry, I'm a little tired today and yesterday.
Yeah.
All right. Make it a great day. We'll be back tomorrow.
Bye.
Bye.